quarter grade 5 modules. So, likewise with you, I believe the school
Good
heads
afternoon,
naman
everybody.
will
This is
also
our
the grade
afternoon
5
session
modules
for
for all
our
subdivisions because we
district
already
professional education
shared that to you to district head and of
conference and
course Pampita shared
educators
also with
with
you
speaking
the
today
modules for the
this
grade
afternoon
5
is Ma'am Francia
post-school learning areas. So grade 5 lang ang
Tal
meron tayo
from the
ngayon.
division
So
office.
first quarter lang muna mga school heads baka mag-visit kayo sa NGO ninyo. And try to saktuit na ang inyong budget ay kakayanin. Baka nag-print kayo na nag-print hanggang sa wala na kayong ibang gagamitin. So only for the first quarter and tapos tayo mag-aksaya ng kahit anong materials. Tayo pagkakas ng paper. Pwede na kayong gumamit ng yung mga blank sheets na sa likod. Diba? Yung mga papers ko. Sabi ko, sipunin ko yung mga halimbawa yung may print lang yung kabila. The other side, halimbawa yun. So, second video sa other side. Sige. So, good afternoon everyone. Sige, we'll start with, I'm going to inspire you. We'll start with, so yun lang ang maitutulong din namin. So yun lang ang explain this health crisis that we are facing and the challenge that we are facing for this school year 2020-2021. This is a unique and challenging school year. We did not dream, in our wildest dream, never it comes that we will be having a school year like this, that our students or our learners will not meet their teachers. And you also, you will not be meeting them, though you might in school, we will not be meeting with our learners. Just a few minutes ago, I was listening to Secretary Harry Roque. Talagang sinasabi ni Pangulong Duterte, pinararating sa atin sa Duterte, we will not have the face-to-face unless a vaccine will arrive and will be available. Halimbawa kung ang vaccine ay hindi dumating talaga this school year or next school year, ito talaga ang pinaka-unique and challenging school year for us to continue our basic education services to our learners. We will not also sacrifice the education of our children because of this pandemic. Kaya, teachers, I hope we have all our teachers. Ano ba mang kita ito mga elementary? Ang ating
Dalawang
all elementary. Pati secondary. Okay. So, elementary and secondary school teachers, as well as also the school heads, lalo na ang mga school heads, you will be the one to lead and manage our teachers, and of course, with the big and strong command and leadership of your district head mga kamarada. So, sinasabi natin ngayon, we will feel as one and we will face the challenge for this school year. Hindi pwede tayong magkanya-kanya, ha? It is now the time that we will help one another. Teacher, kung kinder teacher ka, at may humihingi sa'yo ng tulong na grade 6 teacher, tulungan mo. If we can share, if we can help one another. Let us collaborate. Let us help one another. Hindi pwedeng sabihin na, bahala ka. Pwede na nakdidikturok-dok. Bahala ka tilo. No. Ito na yung panahon na yun na dapat magtulungan. Kaya nakikapagdirugin ko yung stress. No? Pasayunan ka, ayaw kapakuwi ang ating mga pagdaringon. So, teachers, always consult and coordinate with your school heads. School heads always be available to your teachers. And alam ko yan, ang mga school heads natin sa summer division, lalo na kayo dyan sa right to, very available, very accommodating, and very knowledgeable to give the technical assistance to your teachers. Ayun lang hira magpapagawa. Ayun lang makatulog ka. Diba? And you school heads, your best consultant would be your district head. Huwag kayong kumonsulta kaagad sa SDS through social media o message ka ni ma'am. Damo na iya ginasikaso. Pagkadaan ay kamo ka ni ma'am kita, kung pupurian kita ang tawag-tawag, kung di ka mo magkita, di ba? Kung di ka man na ka mo mag-istorya, pwede. Para maklaro natin. So, for this orientation of yours on the most essential learning competencies, let us not be confused. Our curriculum is still the K-12 curriculum from kindergarten, grade 1 to 3, grade 4 to 6, 7 to 10, and 11 to 12. Still the same. Our curriculum guides are still the same. But then, from the PG, our Bureau of Curriculum Division at the Central Office merged or only got those very important and significant competencies per learning area and per grade level. Dahil nga sa mahirap na yung ating sitwasyon, pinadali o pinaikli yung mga competencies na halos pare-pareho naman o very similar to each other, sila
Tsura nga ito na.
merge na lang. Walang binago. Still, our curriculum is the same. We have to deliver the basic education services to our learners, but we will not sacrifice also our health and mental alertness as educators. Mag-ingat tayo, ay yan ang panahon, mga physically healthy, kaya mo malipagkain, pero ay mga mentally ill, kaya naguguro, may problema, yung nakita ito pagpilog, diba? Kasi kanina, masayunin natin. Let us make our work easy. Binubutlaw na, pakuwayanan. Hindi rin na ibabaro, butang pa nagbibinasa, ask help from your co-teacher, if you're a teacher, or from your school head. Ask an assistant. At hindi man na pininakakanit, hindi na sunod din na competency. There's no harm in a school. Ayaw kaawod pagpakiana. Ha? Huwag mahihiyang magtanong. O, ayaw kaawod. Ayaw kasi nga, baka yung nagpakiana ka nga di ka maaram. Accept kung di ka maaram. Acceptance is very important. Kami nga ni Didi ako, pag diri ako baga-sure, kaya ba na akong mag-discriminate kung diri ano siya. Madali lang, ma-message ako nagigit among chief. Kung learning area ko good, makalimunin ko na, ito na central office. O, so ganito, ay kung nasa mga region, sige daw ma'am, can you inquire ka after the city, Bureau of Communication, we can access ito nga atin ano. Hindi rin makaarawag pagpapalala. Hindi rin makaarawag. So I hope you will have a good and a very unreasonable orientation in the most essential learning competencies for grade 11 and for learning area. Grade 11 for learning area. And I would like to leave you a message which I read from just a minute ago. We say that our school year 2020-2021 is a challenging one. So we say, no matter the challenge, we only have what it takes to overcome. Again, no matter the challenge, we always have what it takes to overcome. So we build today and reshape tomorrow. Imagine, yung mga bata natin ay matututo sila this school year, o hindi natin sila namimit physically, we are reshaping them for their future. Mare-recall nila pag sila'y lumaki na at makapagtapos, makapagtrabaho, masering hirap. May ang school year, naging padaraman lang na din mga worksheets, activity sheets, mga modules, pero nahibalo kami. And then we move on from one grade level to the next. Waray kami makatambay, makatapos. So with that, we will very much let us always lead a a legacy to our learners para in. So thank you so much, District 2, Right 2. Yan. Congratulations. Good luck to all of you. Thank you so much, Ma'am Tita, and the school heads. Congratulations.
Yes,
And of course, our teachers, our prime movers for this school year 2020-2021.
po, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, Ma'am Francia. Okay,
Thank you, Ma'am
so
Francia.
it's our pleasure of having you here with us during our virtual conference. At least our teachers will be inspired of what you have said. Hello, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, you're always welcome. Welcome. Sige.
Ma'am Francia. Sige, ma'am. Okay. So, my dear teachers, and I mean, mga school heads, for at this moment, I know that Ma'am Francia is also in a hurry, and I myself too, because yes, Ma'am Francia, di ba, will be having a teleconference at 1 p.m. So good for Ma'am Francia that she was able to be with us, or she is here with us today, even though we have a complicated time because of this teleconferencing that we will be having at exactly one. Still, ginusto talaga niya na she'll be with us. For your information, I just texted Ma'am Francia a while ago, and I had said that, Ma'am, really, you are a text away and you are very much responsive enough for whatever tool that other schools or districts would ask from you. Nandyan ka palagi. So our gratitude to Ma'am Francia of giving your message as an that will serve as an inspiration to our co-teachers here in the district, because I know that others are somewhat they are what we call that, they are also in quandary about the situation that we are having or we are facing this time, especially that we have this new learning guides that melts paano ba nila ito gagamitin, and to tell you everyone that ang dami ng ating mga melts ng ating CG only have a very few melts that we have to deliver, we have to develop in our learners. Yes, another thing is that we will be suffering from difficulties in the sense that with the teaching or the learning modalities that we are to use, then yes, teachers will be having difficulty in the crafting of the worksheets, but for the modules, good for Ma'am Francia that diba, teachers will be the one, I mean schoolets will be the one who will be producing this for the teachers. So another thing which I'd like really from Ma'am Francia is that we will just be preparing for ng mga module, I mean ng mga materials for the first quarter, because we are expecting and we are hoping that the central office will give us or will provide, or yes, the central office will be providing us, but we are not yet sure if it will be with us or if it will be delivered in us to learn our classes. So to Ma'am Francia, our gratitude in behalf of our district, this the so that being our funding, I hope that you are there for me whenever ask your assistance. So, thank you for being with us.
Welcome,
Emma?
Tita, and the rest of the teachers and students of Right to this school. Sige, I will leave you now. I will go to Right 1.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I will go to Santo. Yes, very much.
Right.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Francia.
Kaya muna yung activity sheets para teachers at magsayo nila. Kaya imagine ang area ng mga bagay na hirap ng parents. So, yung lalaki at ang competency ng okay, sige, good na. Good to
Opo.
if I can join, nada pa ka mo, ma-join na daliwan.
Yes.
Okay,
Wow,
ma'am.
thank you so much. You are very much welcome, ma'am. You are very much welcome, ma'am. So that we will be guided, and you are there whenever questions that need clarification. Thank you so much. It's
Okay.
it's
Hello, ma'am.
okay.
Okay, nagutom.
Tudod ka, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Nag-utod-utod. Bagat robot.
Shopee po, ma'am. Christita, Shopee.
Anay. Nang proof na
Karayo, ano, naka-headset si ma'am? Batrobot ma'am, batrobot ma'am.
Ano? Oh.
Kadala, ako man robot ako anak boses. Federico,
Ma'am.
eko. At sila ako boses.
Yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Boy,
Opo ma'am. Utod-utod lang yap.
bukan kamu
Salagyap, ma'am.
Malata-lata lang yap ma'am.
ano?
Malata-lata. Batrobot ma'am. Bagat robot. Metallic it boys, metallic.
Ano kay pinabalik? Ako na ako.
Papo ni sir.
Hello? Hello, okay na? Chris, pabati mo na ako.
Okay na, ma'am. Okay na, ma'am.
Okay na?
Opo, ma'am.
Diri na. Happy?
Loud,
Ay, salamat. Okay na po.
loud and clear na, loud and clear.
Ay, nanay. Kapaniguro ko pa man kanina. Paniguro. Okay, sige. So, I am happy with the attendance today that we are all 100. So, pagpagkita ka maupay pagkinita. So, meaning to say, mga buutan kung kita nga tanan. Ang happy na daw with the figure that I am now seeing on the screen. So, 101. Thank you so much. And you said that 102 na. Okay. Alright. Sige. So, for this afternoon session, you may just continue because I will be leaving the room due to our conference or teleconference at the division office. So, dito sa namon nga laptop, manmamati ako ha iyo, hindi naman ito sa for our teleconferencing at the division. Okay? So, bagang maupay talaliwat kay at the same time, nababati naton. Duhay takpitan mamatian. So, anyway, we will you will continue with the conference, virtual conference today, and I hope that we can tackle everything what is being scheduled as of this afternoon. And as I have said, I hope that everyone will be here, will be on the screen, will be on the line, so that you will capture, especially that adamo pa ito nga kailangan naton mahibaruan. So with this, my friends, with the speakers, the resource speakers that we have, I hope that you can manage the afternoon session. So thank you so much. Mary Chris, you are there. You are the overall manager because you are the host of the meeting, of the conference. And yes, syempre, with the leadership of our resource speakers, Mylene, Virgie, Ronnie, Alida is there. Who else? Noel, Grace, nandiyan sila lahat, and all that ulit. So with that, thank you so much, my dear Practical District school heads and teachers. Okay, let's proceed to the very first topic of the afternoon session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon again. So, this morning,
Good afternoon, Ma'am Chris.
Filipino, Kinder, and Emily, and Mathematics. For this afternoon, our topics will be Science, Senior High School, Science, Elementary Science, Senior High School, and DLE. For Science Math, then welcome our resource person, Ma'am Grace B. Ipe, Master Teacher of Casbandig National High School. Ma'am Grace.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, noted, okay, so I will be presenting to you senior high school.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Grace.
Science. Direct na babate?
Okay, okay. Loud and clear, loud and clear.
My presentation. So, dyan na po, anak ko rin kuhan. Nakikita na niya akong presentation. Hello, everyone.
Kore pa.
Sanay pa.
Pindita dida. Ito na, okay na, okay na.
Sanay ha.
Haubos, haubos.
Yan. Iton, sir, ano na? Hello,
Waray
everyone.
pag waray pag gihapon, waray pa. Adi na anak ko na loading pala at na kina.
Okay na.
Loading na, okay na.
Okay, good afternoon. So, I'm going to present to you the MELCs on science. So, the K-12 basic education curriculum is based on the conceptual framework uh, of the Department of Education for Science and Technological, or Scientific and Technological Literacy. So, the MELC is taken from the uh, curriculum guide of science, and then that is still anchored on the conceptual framework of the science and technology literacy. So the K to 12 basic education curriculum is, we all know that is standards based. We have the content standards and the performance standards. The content standards cover a specified scope of topics, which sets the essential knowledge and understanding that must be learned, while performance standards describe the abilities and skills that the learner are expected to demonstrate in relation to content standards. So these standards are further represented as learning competencies, which are knowledge, skills, attitudes that students need to demonstrate in every lesson or learning activity. So with our current health crisis brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, so this pandemic is considered as one of the greatest threats in the Philippine basic education. The the challenge to make education relevant and responsive to the current situation is our primary concern. With the expected decrease in the contact hours of teaching science brought by the change in the schedule of the school year, the Curriculum Standard Development Division of the Bureau of Curriculum deve- uh, develop, development of identified learning competencies article. So this is considered the most essential learning competencies, or the MELCs. They were identified using the criterion endurance. So meaning the enduring competencies are those that remain with learners long after the test is completed or is useful beyond a single test or unit of study. These MELCs also refer to learning competencies which are essential in many professions and in everyday life of our learners. So to ensure the continuity of learning progression of our learners, it is important to make sure that learning competencies needed to in the understanding of succeeding concepts in the next grade level are prioritized. So overall, the resulting list captures the objectives of science program, which is the development of scientifically, technologically, and environmentally literate, productive members of society who manifest skills as critical problem solvers, responsible stewards of nature, innovative and creative citizens, informed decision makers, and effective communicators. So, from the very beginning, from this morning inputs, we have the comparisons of the existing learning competencies from the CG, and if those to the essential learning competencies, then reduce to the most essential learning competencies. So I will not be showing you the graph of the science on how many most learning competencies are retained, but I will show you the, 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 the example of how most essential learning competencies in different stages in matter domains are identified. We all know that in science we have four domains. So we have the matter, we have living things in their environment, then uh, earth and space, and then force, motion, and energy. So we have here an example for the key stages in matter domain. So the stage would start with the science grade 3 matter, the lesson for matter. So we have here the retained learning competency. We have classify objects and materials as solid, liquid, and gas based on the observable characteristics. So this was the retained learning competency. So we also have here the deleted learning competency. Describe objects based on their characteristics. Example, shape, weight, volume, and ease of flow. So here is the justification on why is that competency being retained and deleted. So description of shape, weight, and weight have been discussed in grade 1 and 2. And based on how it is stated, uh, the deleted learning competency can be covered in the retained learning competency. So furthermore, the ability to classify solid, liquid, and gases based on the observable characteristics is the foundation of other science skills. So first, key stage 2, so ato na science grade 5 for matter. So design a product out of local recyclable solid and or liquid materials in making useful products. So that is the retained learning competency. So we also have here the related learning competency for science grade 5. So we have recognize the importance of recycle, reduce, use, recover, and repair in waste management. So the justification
Excuse me,
is
Ma'am
that,
Grace. Ma'am?
yes,
Ma'am Grace,
yes, ma'am,
slide po ni mo kuhan, PowerPoint.
slideshow. Okay, sige. Yan. Okay na?
Okay, okay.
Thank you po. Opo, okay na.
Okay, so the justification for this is that retained learning competency will already cover the intention of the limited learning competency and will even require students to be more creative. Okay, so for the case stage 3, we have here at Science grade 8, they use the predictable to predict the chemical behavior of an element. Then the related learning competencies trace the development of the predictable from observations based on similarities to properties of elements. The repeated learning competencies is deemed not essential as the retained learning competency. So as it requires the student to use the properties of elements to predict the chemical behavior of an element. Hence, it is more encompassing. Then for key stage 4, so it is already in science grade 11 and 12, particularly in physical sciences. So we have here describe the general types of intermolecular forces for the retained learning competencies, and the deleted learning competency is give the type of intermolecular forces in the properties of substances. So the deleted learning competencies is assumed in the retained learning competencies. So like other subjects, so there are learning competencies that are deleted. There are learning competencies that are rephrased or subsumed, and there are learning competencies that are retained. So we are already oriented that these learning competencies have been reduced to be accommodated with our current uh, period of the school year, which is shortened for the fact that we will start on August 24, and of course we'll end maybe on March or April. So how are we going to use the MELCs? So the science curriculum guide lists the learning competencies together with the code, which was set to guide teachers uh, the time at which certain competencies to be delivered. However, since the learning competencies have been reduced to the most essential, the code will not be of much use. So, meaning to say, in science, we will not be more particular with the learning competency code. Uh, for this reason, the proposed length of time for each of the competency is also included. It should be noted that the time allocation for the competencies is not a hard and fast rule. Teachers, remember the teachers will deviate from the time allocation as long as the learning competencies are delivered and developed among the learners. The identified milks are broad statements that should be therefore unpacked into learning objectives. So we all know that our learning competencies are very broad, and so we need to unpack that into specific objectives. And in translating these learning competencies into specific learning objective, it is best to look into the content and performance standards. So we have here, or I have here, an example of how are we going to do that. Okay, so we have here the content standard example in science grade 8. So we have here science grade 8. Uh, we have the content standard. The learners demonstrate understanding of work using constant force, power, gravitational potential, kinetic energy, and potential energy. So this is in the domain of a force, motion, and energy. Then the performance standard is the learner should be able to develop a written plan and implement a Newton's Olympics. Okay, so in science grade 8, we have this activity, Newton's Olympics. Okay, then the learning competence is that identify and explain the factors that affect potential and kinetic energy. So as you notice, there is no more learning competency code. So in science, it is not the code. The learning competency code is not much big deal. So we have here the learning objectives for science grade 8. We have here 8 specific objectives. So these 8 specific objectives should be the one that we are going, the guide, our guide for making our activity sheets and worksheets for this content standard and performance standard. So first objective is define and differentiate potential and kinetic energy. Then identify factors that affect potential energy, determine mathematical variation between potential energy and mass, height, and from the ground. Compare the values of potential energy of varying masses at the same elevation from the ground. Then identify the factors that affect kinetic energy. Determine the mathematical variation between kinetic and mass and velocity. Create and explain concepts map involving the terms of kinetic potential, energy, mass, velocity, and elevation. Then demonstrate and explain the law of conservation of energy using the pendulum. So these 8 learning objectives, this is in our or this is for good for 1 week. So this learning objective must be our objectives for the whole week if we are just going to browse our melts. Okay, so the proposed delivery of the identified learning competency above is from the middle of the second week up to the third week. Since the performance standards, which is to develop and implement a plan for Newton's Olympics. So it involves other learning competencies in activity involving a pendulum. Will provide the learners a first-hand observation to the nature and movement of pendulum back with respect to the kinetic and potential energy. So the learners could also be given activities that relate the impact of the object dropped from a certain height while varying both the mass and elevation. So the impact of hitting the ground can be equated to the amount of energy it possesses. So we are going to use as, these milks uh, for attaining our uh, performance and content standard for our learners. Okay, so for science, uh, maybe has been said from Filipino, English, MTBL, mother tongue, and SWAT. So keep safe and thank you and keep safe. But I still have one super senior high school. Okay, so okay. So meron pa po akong for senior high school. Okay, so I have here, okay, orientation of what immersion implementation on guidelines during crisis situation. So nakikita niyo? Ay,
Dari pa, ma'am.
hindi rin nakikita.
Okay pa, ma'am.
Share ko lang. Hindi rin nakikita. Okay.
Dari pa, ma'am.
Meron pa. Asya lahat doon science ko pila kay amulat to. Okay na yan. Ito sir, may ka na?
Kuray pa. Ay, ito na, Grace. Ito na. Adi na.
So, just bear with me mga elementary because this concerns the only two high school in the right to district. This is orientation work immersion implementation guidelines during crisis situation. We all know that in senior high school, one of the crucial subjects is the work immersion. Work immersion and basta abot yung subject. So, maybe lawa na siya high school because this is their second year of implementation for senior high school. You will have this work immersion because you are offering TBL. TBL, particularly ICT, if I am not mistaken. Okay, so this is useful for the two senior high school implementer. We have the one response okay, so we have here flow up our conversation. Nakikita rin sir. Hindi ko nyo nasusum. Hello sir, hindi ko nyo nasusum.
Sige na, nakikita man. Para
Ang
magila.
mula okay.
Sige.
So we have conversation flow. So first we have the background and context, business simulation, capstone project, and culminating activity. For work immersion, we have schemes for conduct of suggested activity for the work immersion and suggested activities for TBL tracks. We will not be dealing with the arts and design and sports because we do not have it here. Okay, then wala na po tayong open forum. Okay, so we have here this expected outcome of the orientation. So our immediate outcome, participants who can discuss and implement work immersion guidelines during crisis situation. Then we have the enabling outcome. Work immersion implementing schools are committed to implement the guidelines in consideration to the context of their locality. And our final outcome will be learners who are ready for employment and have applied their competencies based on the areas of specialization. Okay, so during when you see crisis, it is a condition in which a regular operation of our schools, including the relevant offices in the national region and central levels, is suspended. So it is the learner's physical attendance at school is prohibited or limited. So para man kita nga, according to our President Duterte, no face-to-face classes until we have vaccine. Okay. So we will be uh, really having this crisis on this subject work immersion. So work immersion aims to provide senior high school learners with opportunities to become familiar with workplace, employment simulation, and to apply their competencies in the areas of specialization or applied subjects in authentic work environments. So when we say work immersion, we have to let our students experience the real scenario of work. So even if Academic National High School is offering only uh, general academic strand, uh, academic track, general academic strand, we still let our students experience work immersion. Okay, so work immersion implementation must be flexible enough to fit the complex setup and needs of learners. So schools and partners institution in the country. So work immersion really is very crucial this time because uh, the government is not allowing a face-to-face classes for the students. So work immersion is highly suggested that the grade 12 EVL track learners be prioritized to undergo work immersion, while other levels take other subject and work or and undergo work immersion when normal condition resumes. So therefore, it is only the grade 12 EVL track learners shall undergo work immersion. So ano na lang ang gagawin for the other track and strand? Okay. So we will uh, tackle it as we go along. Okay. Work immersion is a requirement for TBL track while optional for arts and design, sports, and academic tracks as stated in the Bid Order number 29 series of 2010. Okay, so we have here the options per track per strand. So for ABM strand in the academic track, the option is for work immersion is to have a business enterprise simulation. For humanities, social science strand or the UMS, we have the culminating activity only. No work immersion. Amo ulit ang mga options. For the STEM, they must have research and capstone project, while academic strand shall have a research, capstone project, or culminating activity. For sports track, we have the apprenticeship for off campus, and arts and design tracks will have performing arts production or exhibit for arts production. So in our division, we do not have sports track and arts and design track. As far as I know, in Region 8, we only have one offering sports track and one offering arts and design. So for sports track, that is in Ormoc City Division, while the arts and design is in Calbayog City Division. So as let's hang we are not concerned of this. So we will have our concern on the ABM, UMS, STEM, and CAS for the academic strand. And we have here the options. Okay, so this subject integrates all key concepts and processes of the ABM as applied in real life activities. So the ABM would fall. Anyway, wala man kita ABM, ano? Do I need to discuss this? Wala man kita ABM. Lawan is
Oh, wala sa IBM.
like city, ra? Di ba? Wala kita ABM, wala kita, ano? So we all have general academic and TBM.
Oo.
Focus na TBL.
Oo.
Okay, sir. Okay, so we have here the work immersion or option for team of students for the work immersion for TBL. So we for models. So we have model A, simulation operation, kanan ABM ini. Then we have here for model B, taking part of the operation in business community and partnership. This is still for ABM. Then for Model C, we have online selling for ATM again. Then for Model D, din na kita. TBL. Drafting, parang TBL naman yun. Okay. TBL siya. Okay, sir. Skipan ko na lang yung kanan ibig, sir. We are going to move to the...
Okay, wala mong kita-accountan. Okay, wala mong kita-accountan.
Asya lagi. So, kung ano na lang bubuhaton for the work immersion for... Okay, we have here lugod for the capstone project. Capstone project, kung ano yung mga capstone project for our general academic, yes naman may nakita, di ba? Okay, so we have here, when we say capstone project, the senior high school learner may have option to choose topic related to the specializations. So for example, in our case, we have general academic, and we are an aton major is STEM because we have physics 1 and physics 2 as our major subject. So therefore, the senior high school is encouraged to relate the project at home or community issues and to integrate this to the outside of school experiences. Therefore, or hence, project should encourage learners to think critically, solve challenging problems, and develop skills that will prepare them for college, work, and adult life. So, para ato na physics, so there are a lot of capstone project that will be made out of this. Okay, so bahala na lang ito Sir Franco kung ano natin papahimo yung capstone project. So, as senior high school learner must also consider the following crafting of research. Okay, research ni what is suggested in the work immersion for you will be deriving a research problem which must be contextualized according to the learner's current situation. Then we have here a guide for how are they going to make their research, reviewing of related literature, designing methods, then collecting, analyzing, and reporting findings. Okay. So, then the capstone project should be clear to the senior high school learners that the output should be limited to what the learners of the school are equipped with, which may be different from the research that they would like to do. So, ibaan capstone, ibaan research. So, it should be noted that they may be working on a limited support for conducting tests requiring research centers. Sanglit na siya iton. Ang mga capstone project should be contextualized. So, a senior high school learner may also have an option to choose topic related to their specialization for their capstone project. So, hira magbubuot kung ano tira topic. Then, the senior high school learner is also encouraged to relate the project to home or community issues and to integrate this to outside of school learning experiences. So, the project should... Okay. So, senior high school learner also must consider the following crafting. Nakakatigaman. Okay. So, diba? For capstone projects, should be clear that learners' output should be limited to what the learners in the schools are equipped with. Balik mo na slide. Okay, hindi na yan. Nawawara. So, here are some example of capstone project ideas. Community-based projects, math investigation, providing and formulating theories which basically more on library research. Then document analysis and robotics for ICT projects. So therefore, pwede ngayon ang aton ICT nga ang aton ICT halawaan and an aton general academic kakasandig magkamayada nala capstone project instead having work immersion. Then another option for us is the culminating activity. So what are the activities for this? Ini culminating activity. So culminating activity is designed to provide students opportunity to integrate their learning in different learning areas of humanities, social sciences through creative culminating activities. Then focuses on the exhibition or exhibits of authentic products and performances evidence in their learning in the humanities and social sciences. Wala lang yung ito. Pero pwede ito natin apply for general academic and physics ko na natin. So we can have culminating activity for physics for general academic. So teachers program the activities of learners where they can perform the learning competencies within the confined or within the confines of their home. So siya lagi hapon, makuha gud kita, ma-clear gud kita nga more on activities at home. Since the subjects performance standard is to produce creative portfolio that will integrate their learning in specialized learning ideas under humanities or social sciences. Learners can be asked to create a plan to make portfolio including timeline, processes involving key concepts. So write concepts paper that will encapsulate their learning in humanities and social sciences. So in our case, this will also be applied because we have a lot of HUMS subject in social sciences. Or so apili na lang bata for culminating activity. Okay. And then we have here the schemes for the conduct of suggested activities in TBL. Yan lang kita na sa design. So we have here in school, may nakita activities in school, we have home-based, we have community-based, and we have school and industry tie-up. This is now for the TBL. So industry tie-up. Okay, in school. Underton rule in school. So the school will provide a mock environment, given the available facilities. Arrangement shall be made between the school management and parents, guided by learning competencies by the senior high school learners that will perform the activities. So amo ito mga suggestions. Then home-based. The learners also shall perform their activities at home, but will be monitored regularly by the work immersion teacher or the senior high school teacher. This scheme is applicable only for learners with available materials, tools, or devices that can be used to demonstrate their competencies. Guided by learning competencies, the teachers and learners need to select activities to be performed. So, magbubulig it teacher and learner kung anong activity tira i-perform. So, teachers must see to it nga itong activity nga oy mo na balay must be contextualize para ang bata di rin na magpipinamiling hindi ako mga resources. Okay, let us come to community-based. So community-based, the school may arrange with the government and non-governmental organization such as the local government unit or private sector, the necessary environment. They can participate in governance projects, community development activities, and relevant community projects guided by the learning competencies. So, permanente not go out of the learning competencies. Permanente gud naton isusulod. So, di rin lang kita mapatakay ng activity for the students. We will situate the activity in line with the learning competencies. Okay. Then, the school and industry tie-up. The school and partner institutions shall arrange the needed environment of learners to provide physical distancing is observed at all times. So parehot lawan that they are offering TVL ICT. So see to it that social distancing must be observed all the time. Kaya di rin may ito point nga, mag-work immersion hira, tapos at ira balay. So they will be really experience the real scenario of how to work. Okay, next. So in extreme situations, schools may opt to ask the learners to develop scale business proposal, research for arts production and feasibility study, whichever applicable and relevant to their tracks, guided by the teacher. So for So, anay, kung natin dire applicable lahat. So, all lessons and activities of work immersion shall be equivalent or its equivalent shall be delivered using different modalities applicable to the learners and the school. Okay, so we have here, skipan tayo ito. Pagkitahan, TVL, adiman, TVL. So we have here for automotive and mga suggested activities, waray man kita ito. Waray liwat kita welding, waray liwat kita craft production. Ambot, bagan waray ako kumita kami, ada ka ng ICT. TVL, electrical, automotive lagi have. Welding. Bilon tanay ron yan, an ICT kay maram ako ICT binu-offer.
Yes, ma'am.
Ronnie, panunod na la waray adiyo. Puro sa
Correct,
electrical.
ma'am.
Road man kanan ICT, di ba? Ini nga broadband installation, telecom
Kanang
OSP.
ICT ito. Kanang ICT, ma'am.
So, atin mga
Installation fixed wireless system.
yung mga suggested activities, Ronnie, oh. Drafting business plan to establish online websites installation services. This can be done as group or individual project. Diba? Kinanglan. Ron, aron na lang ni Ma'am Gina. Okay, so we have here the milks for the work immersion. Ito na siya. Okay. So, di rin ako magbibinasay ni tagusaw sa mga milks. Kaya gin-download na niyo. Paarap ako. Okay. So, that's it. Dok, may da pa? Okay. So, siya lahat to. Okay, thank you. And for further details, give an open display of evaluation naman yan ito. Okay. Ala. Okay, thank you. And once again, good afternoon.
Thank you, Ma'am Grace.
Just bear with me. Palagi na nagpa-unveiling niya presentation ni Ma'am Gina.
Thank you so much.
Sorry po niya. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Okay, so if you have no more questions, do you have any questions? If you have no more questions,
okay na question, we can move na.
okay, so if you have no more questions, we can let us move to another topic, which is the TLE, to be discussed by Ma'am Alida P. Tassilia. This is our last topic for this afternoon. Hello, Ma'am Alida. Good afternoon.
Hello po, good afternoon to all of you. Nababati po ako?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Kusay, leave ka.
Aga ako din namiling akong signal, kaya balay, wara
Oh,
signal.
ito.
Wala ba signal?
Ang signal, ang
Oo,
signal. Dati din ka pakabili.
nila, adi sa pitituan, mga frontliners.
Wow. Sige, ay nangin mo ko. Shared na yun.
Okay. So, okay kita na? Hello?
Alright pa dahil.
In-share ko na.
Full screen.
Okay. So, agenda. Sinasabi nga agenda. Ito.
Wari ka dahil. Sige daw, haranin na dahil, kamaturan. Adun na hiya? Oo, adin na.
Oo. Okay na?
Adin na. Oo, adin you are presenting. You're presenting. Wala pa yung dadawas.
Okay, once nasa traffic. Okay, so once again, good afternoon. Of course, may have respect to our district supervisor, Magdita, and all of the school heads, the principals, and the ICs, and of course, all of the teachers, elementary and secondary teachers of Raiku District. Good afternoon. So allow me to start with my presentation with this quotation. It says that good bitter best. Never let it rest. Tell the good is bitter and the bitter is good after. So my mine is to share with you the milks on EPP under this so TLE and EPP, especially TLE. There are a lot of components. So but this time, so this time the
100
milks
po
for
yan.
TLE were identified into four components only, and these are the industrial arts or the IA, home economics, the HA, agricultural and fishery arts or the AFE.
Alita, excuse me, waray man nakawas dito. Screen.
Presentation.
Presentation, day.
Presentation,
Waray,
May
waray
da
man didi, day.
may da na yaging
May dala
kuan.
mo?
May gin-feed na ya. Oh.
May dala na sa ring you are presenting.
Oo.
presenting.
Pero di rin nagkuan, di rin nakikita.
Ikuan, gini-slide mo na.
Naka-slide siya na ito pero di rin nakikita. Maluyadan.
Presenting ka na, oo. Full screen na.
Ano lang? Sige na, tiyakan.
Nakago.
Nakakasa.
Ha?
Kaya di rin na-out na.
Dito?
Ay, ang pula. Ano tanong mo? Nasira ang tanong mo. Ang nga ni, kailangan ako video din nakikita. Sa nainit. Direktuan. Maluyaan na kuwan. Magkiklik pa hindi after pag-clickan presenting. You're presenting to everyone.
Alright na, ma'am. Dapat nakikita
Diretso na ito.
screen.
Aning mo kuan, aning mo PPT, siya click.
Ito na.
Ito.
Kuman. Sabi na.
Okay, kita na.
Okay na. Okay na. Go na.
Okay na. So, amo na din ako kanina.
Wala na, siya na.
Okay, so mine is to share with you the milks on APP and PLP. So as what I'm saying a while ago that under the PL subjects or the APP, there are a lot of components. But this time, due to the crisis that we are facing nowadays, about pandemic, so the milks were only identified 4 components. Components and these are industrial arts, home economics, agriculture and fishery arts, information, communication, and technology or the ICT. These identified melts preserve the main objectives of course, which is to enable our learners acquire the technical knowledge, skills, and values, which is present in the mentioned components, the four components. And for TLE naman, which is for secondary, so the main objective of the MELS is to make our learners technologically proficient and help them um, lead lead them to pursue their career or livelihood training. So these are the basis or the objective of the MELS on EPD and TLE. So this MELS let us put in our mind that MELS all of the milks in every learning areas are only intended for school year 2020 to 2021. Uh, just to accommodate necessary adjustment due to the shortening of our academic year due to pandemic. So sana magkaroon na ng vaccine para we can have our normal kuan studies or our education system. So, furthermore, the curriculum was not revised, and these identified MELs are only lifted from the existing curriculum guide. So, the MELs or the most essential learning competences were taken from the curriculum guide that we have. Only that it was sa rin pa kaninahan mga resource speakers, it was integrated or it gikuha la. The most essential components were only taken to address the needs of our learners. Wala na, napabati pa ako.
Oh, yes, yes.
Hello po.
Bati pa, klaro pa.
This time, I would like to share with you on how to use noodles in teaching APT or TLE or DDL. So the duration stipulated in this document is not restrictive. So they are restrictive, but are rather they are suggestive. However, the milk hindi non-negotiable. So, hindi po natin pwedeng bawasan yung nasa milk. It is non-negotiable. The following are the premises to be considered in utilizing the milks for teaching TLE or FEP for elementary. Mentorship is embedded in the four components. What are the four components? Ang kanina definition are the industrial arts, home economics, and agriculture and arts, and of course the ICT. So lahat ng four components in the method EPT and TLE, entrepreneurship is present. So maybe you could say that the males on the EBT or DLE are too broad, malawak siya. But don't worry because it was unpacked by the teachers for you to unpack that, unpack. Competencies that are redundant, balik-balik, just like the in English, kanina sa rin mileage. So there are only, balik-balik lang na offices are recurring. Those competencies were removed to satisfy the 8 to 9 weeks allotment per quarter. So yun na. Finding all of the subject or learning areas on all of the competencies in our curriculum guide were congested para those competencies that are essential only are the ones that was only included in the The following are also considered in the for grades 4 to 6 of the ATP or Educational Pantahanan at Kabuhayan, and for TLE, Technology and Livelihood Education, there is a quarter zero. Mamaya po, I will show you what I'm talking about is a quarter zero. This is inconsistent with the coding of EPP TLE curriculum guide as gives leeway to the school to decide which among the components need emphasis per quarter. So, yun. For grades 7 and 8, for grades 7 and 8 exploratory, there's an option to choose for mini courses in ICT, AFP Agriculture and Fisheries Arts, Home Economics and Industrial Arts, or you can choose one of the components for the duration of the whole year. And each mini course is good for 8 to 9 weeks per quarter. So yun po, for grades 7 and 8, exploratory. So pwede po tayong mag-choose ng mini course for ICT, AFA, HA, or IA. That would be one component that would be used for the whole duration or the whole year. Another one that we should consider in utilizing the methods on teaching APP or PLE for grade 7 and 8 exploratory, the last 2 to 3 weeks are allotted for entrepreneurship. In addition to that, exploratory PLE 7 and 8 males for these grade levels are at the third column are the most essential learning competences for TL and AP. So guide, marami po tayong courses. There are a lot of courses. Just like here, agri-crop, production 1 and 2, horticulture, carpentry, masonry, plumbing, and etc. So what are the bases? So number one basis is that clustering of some mini courses according to their sector in consideration that they have the same tools, equipment, materials, competences. So ito po yung basis. That's why this curriculum guide having these mini courses. So ngayon, si most essential learning competencies now. So for example, the agri-crop production 1 and 2, horticulture. The most essential learning competencies now is will focus on crop production sector. Mayroon na pong mga sector. It depends on the sabi dito sa basis, clustering of the competences for TLE and APP is based on their sector. In consideration of if they have the same tools, equipment, materials, and competences. So, yon. Another one is that sa curriculum guide marami. 1, 2, 10 siguro. Pero in the most essential learning competences, 5 na lang po. Why? Because the combining of learning competences to simplify the teaching days without omitting the value of the skill or concept. So kayo na lang kung magbasa nito. I will not anymore elaborate or read it to you. Madali namang pong maintindihan. Pinapakita ko lang po dito kung ano ang pagkakaiba or ano pa ang nangyari. Ito po yung mga bases. These are the bases. Why some of the competences from our curriculum guide were omitted and then there are some na nakuha or the most essential learning competences were selected, some of the competences. Next one is the reaching the standards to make it clear for the teachers to understand its content. So now it's time to standard. So if some competencies were also modified, as well as the content standard also and the performance standard. Siguro dahil di ba some of the performance standards cannot be carried out or cannot be worked on by our students. So yun. For example, learner content standard, the learner demands an understanding, estimation, and basic calculation. So the most essential learning competencies or the content standard is that the learner demonstrates an understanding of estimation and the basic education needed in the workplace. Mayroon na tayong na-active na workplace. Kasi yung mga bata ay sa bahay na mag-aaral. Yun. So, another one is deleting learning competencies that was already captured in the previous competency. Yun na, yung redundant competencies. Yung pabalik-balik lang. So, it was already deleted. Just like in mathematics kanina, according to Mr. Ron, so there are some competencies were deleted. And there are some also nga na renewed. Because those are essential competencies. Another one is that adding learning competency to fully attend the learning outcomes. Yun. Some of the things were added also to fully attend the learning outcomes. So just like this. A curriculum guide, ila. Pagka di mo sa essential nga niya. Okay? So these are the basis of training essential learning of I also have here the following are the first to be considered utilizing MELs in teaching TPP or TLE. For most of the TLE TPL specializations, their curriculum guides remain as is. So, hindi po natin papaguhin yung curriculum guide natin. So, they're only learn competency essential 1955. These are based on the training regulations or TRF PISDA, which are amended or modified for the present situation. But this will be delivered through flexible learning modes as it's stated in the circular number 62 series of 2020. So, yun. However, regardless of learning modalities, nominal hours remain the same. And this is except for the following statistical specialization. So, meron tayong first is for handicraft and other TLE, TBL. So, specializations that are not NC or national certified or the the assessment of the learners, they are suggested to be offered this year. The purpose these sessions can be delivered both in school or at home. It's like what Ma'am Bress told a while ago under the senior high school. So mayroon tayong mga performance na pwedeng gawin sa bahay at pwedeng gawin sa community, sa school, at saka sa ating partner na business partner. Local materials are available in the community if the local materials are available in the community. Another one is beauty care. Beauty care. So I think this is under the senior high school. Hair greasing, wakiwang kita hito kay Haamon School, i-offer TBL, ICT. So, so these have non-national certification assessment, but the performance skills can be done both in school or at home. Okay, so this is about the senior high school. So no need to elaborate because this is already discussed by Ma'am. So another one is that for TBL specialization, consider the available resources in school, at home, or in the community, choosing what course to offer since health is the utmost concern. So, in selecting the mini course, so we should consider the resources, available resources in our school. For example, sa one of my co-teacher, Ate Marilyn, kung magluluto ko ng cake, katanan ba nga balay may oven? So, yun. So, kailangan yung gagawin natin worksheets or activities, we should consider the available resources. On the other hand, In cases when competencies are not visible, attainable due to various circumstances, teacher may give an alternative activity provided it is aligned with the substituted learning competencies. So yun na. If it is impossible, magluto ng cake, talaga kay man oven, so I think the teacher will give alternative activity to the students. Okay? So, hello po. Hello po. Bakit magkabkita na po?
Hello.
Hello.
Sige na ba ito kanya, Lida?
Yes, Mama Lida, hello.
Waray lang presentation. Waray lang.
Lagi ka ng PowerPoint.
Waray.
Ang wala po.
Your present.
Okay na. Thank you na.
Okay na, ma'am.
Pero di rin nakikita.
Thank you, nakita.
Kita na, ma'am.
Thank you, kuno. Thank you.
Na ng presentation?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you na.
O, paano mo kakita?
Nakita na.
Sige po. Kanina waray. Ito po. Hello, sir? Naman, sir. Ay, kita na?
Waray pa.
Tayo pa, ma'am.
Apagit mo na yung kita.
Oh, ito. Kita na ito. Ito, kita na ito.
Nakikita na, ma'am.
Ah. Ano man po, okay lang ako kuhan? Explanation?
Ayos nga. Ayos.
Ako po yun mga bases.
Klaro man.
Okay lang. Ako man po, okay ko ano na yung bases. Hello. Thank you. Ano po kami panel? Hello, sir. Sir. Nakikita po kaniya nga milk.
Naglo-loading pa. Oh, ito na. Kita na ito.
Ada na, day. Ada na. Ada na.
Oh, kita na.
Okay. So, ano, okay po. This is the milk for grade 4 in PT 1 to 4. So, as you can see po, in first quarter, ada po ang entrepreneurship. Amo po niya. Supporter, standards, performance standards, most essential learning competencies, saturation, and the code. So, kami grade 4, quarter 1 to 4. So, entrepreneur, ICT, agriculture, home economics, and industrial arts. Amo po ang components ni PIA grade 1 to 4. For grade 5 naman po, alagalap ang entrepreneurship, ICT, agriculture, home economics, and industrial arts. Yan po. So for grade 6 naman, so the component is only ICT and entrepreneurship. Kaya po, wala po tayo kanina. Sabi po kanina, sa third cell. So, just like also the for grade 7 and 8. Yeah. 7. So, further zero kasi you are going to choose only one mini course for the whole duration. 7, 8. Seven, 8. Okay. So, just I will give you on the ano na lang po, this milk. Okay, thank you po. That would be all, and thank you po for listening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Alida. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ako kami ni Ma'am Grace, yan ang pala kami nagkakakopiya. Hipo-hipo na lang kami ng PowerPoint. Mahusay ni Ma'am Iper. Salamat. Pwede ko po mga information, pwede ka makita nila or another school head. Thank you, Ma'am. Congratulations.
Hello, Ma'am Alida. Dan na?
Yes, Ma'am. Nanda po. What up to?
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Alida.
Pasensya na ka mo kay kasi na ng PowerPoint. Direct mo araw.
Okay, so I asked Ma'am Tita, and she said that we are going to proceed to the next topic, which is supposed to be for tomorrow para buwas na lang kung niya mag-insert ng mga administrative matters and other concerns. So, Sir Noel. Sir Noel.
Hello, Ma'am Grace.
Sir Noel, are you okay? If is it okay with you if you will be the one you will present now your SP topic that is supposed to be tomorrow?
Mama, mapi ana sa mga birthday. Mapi na sunod. Sa mga birthday. Kami ka po sa. Kaya ko po.
Kami tapos.
Dati naman na chum.
Kasi pinagawa ko ng PowerPoint.
Okay, so Virgie, please open your
Wala naman ako day.
Ano, waray ako gidi kuan, July years.
Ma'am Virgie.
Yes.
Open ko na lang di mo topic tapos ikaw pag-discuss.
Oh, sige, may dahan dida.
Sige, ma'am. Don't worry, ma'am. Madali lang ito. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Alida, for your very clear presentation of the FPP and TLE milk. Now, let us proceed to ESP milk, which is to be presented by which is to be present MAPE milk, sorry, which is to be presented by Ma'am Bernicia A. Pagara.
Okay, thank you, Chris. So I need your assistance. Then the PowerPoint is on your hands. Okay.
Ma'am, ada na? Ano na ada, ma'am?
One, ESP.
Ma'am, okay, where are you, ma'am? Awa din na, ma'am.
Kayo po mainit, Robert kayo.
Nakita na.
Oh, okay, thank you, Chris.
Naka-slide show siya, ma'am?
Okay na ma'am, okay na.
Sige.
Sabi rin ang slide ko.
Diri pa.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our interactive reflection teachers, and all the participants of this virtual orientation. Once again, good afternoon. So let me start my presentation with these quotes. The moment you stop accepting challenges is the moment you stop moving forward. So what we are doing these times are all challenges for all of us. This afternoon, I will be presenting the milk in MAPI. This is this online delivery of instructions or informations are somewhat difficult for all of us because of so many factors. This will help us provide quality and accessible education for all. So the milk assigned to me is all about MAPI. And MAPI subject is composed of 1, 2, 3, 4 components. Music, arts, PE, and health. So this afternoon, we will know conceptualize the learning competencies from our previous curriculum guides to the most essential learning competencies. Okay? Ano na yun, Chris? Ano na yun? Ano yun? Chris, the slide. Okay, the process. Next slide, please.
Ano, ma'am?
Okay, I will read the process in the making of milk on MAPI. In light with the COVID-19, the Bureau of Curriculum Standards Development Division has produced a list of the most essential learning competencies, just like other subjects. So this was done in order to ensure that the grade level standards, along with the corresponding content and performance standards set for each learning area, still attained. So those essential learning competencies has been extracted, as I have said a while ago, from our previous curriculum guide. So may I now present to you the example of budget of lessons, which was based on milk. Next slide, please. Please. So, asyengit maupahit the technology. Ang palayo ay naging malabo. Okay, how to use the milk? The milk serves as reference to assess the teachers in identifying the most important learning competencies to be developed by the learners and what must be prioritized in this crisis. Further, milks are not meant to replace the existing curriculum guide and effective only for the school year 2020-2021. Remember, my fellow teachers that this curriculum na himugso out of this pandemic, the health, will not so is our previous curriculum. Like, this is only good or effective for this school year 2020-2021. Kasi nga, in-accommodate natin ang mga priority learning competencies para sa kabiyahan to this high school. Iba-iba na ng mga adlaw. Okay. Next slide, please. So, as I have observed, atong ko panaliwat ni ato pagod countries ito role. As I have observed, just like other presentations a while ago, curriculum learning competencies are repressed. Like for example, in music, grade 2, quarter 2, the learning competency is demonstrate the melodic contour with movement. Then in India, demonstrate melodic contour through movement, music writing, visual imagery. So, in grade 2, quarter 2, we know that there are several katananya competencies from the previous curriculum guide. For the arts, there combination of arts elements and principles. Then, widely what ito is scope and learning competencies. But in rephrase siya, explain the role or function of artworks by evaluating their utilization and combination of art elements and principles. So you will notice na short niya, but then sulod lagi hapon, swak lagi hapon ang mga learning competencies from the curriculum guide. So next is the physical education or PE, grade 1, quarter 3. Describes the difference between slow and fast, heavy and light, free and bound movements. So, kung i-rephrase natin niya, masay demonstrate the difference between slow and fast, heavy and light, free and bound movements. So, please take note of this, whether fellow teachers, because only quarter 1 has been given to us as a sample for budget of lessons from the MEL. So, for the succeeding quarters, pwede na po. Kita na siguro ang kita na din pa. Okay, next. Please, if we'll go. Okay. So, you will notice in this particular sheets, hindi ako din nag-represent, that all of the competencies are all about music. Quarter 1, music ang nahiyang tanan. So, week of the quarter, week 1, August 24, thus it will be followed by August 31, kaya puro laan ang gin-extract laan are all about competencies in music. Huh? So out of those wide scope learning competencies from the previous curriculum guides, adinalaan nahimuhan most essential learning competencies. Okay? So take note of this. Identifies the difference between sound and silence accurately. Week 2, relates images to sound and silence within a rhythmic pattern. Week 3 to 5, performs steady beat and accurate rhythm through clapping, tapping, chanting, walking, and playing musical instrument. In response to sound in groupings of 2s, 3s, and 4s. Week 6, September 2029, create simple ostinato patterns in grouping of 2s, 3s, and 4s through body movements. Then total number of competencies for quarter 1 is only it. Compared to our previous curriculum guide. So remember, quarter 1 ang music, only 4 competencies is included. Okay, next slide, Chris. Grade 2. Okay, for grade 2, only 5 competencies. Correct, Chris, nila in slides na may comparison of number of competencies from previous and from previous and to the milk. What are you, Chris? Hello, Chris. Ma'am, wala ko. Alright, amula ini, amula.
Pupunta kaya sa iba ng mga slides.
Okay, so, sige, pabaylanay. Pabaylanay kayo mawawala.
Sige, ma'am.
Okay, so number of days for quarter 1, I think paprehas ini from grade 1 to grade 6 is 8. Kanina kasi ang grade 1, 8 liwat. Okay, next slide for grade 3. Paki-take note po ang number of competencies. Bagin magsobra na kamuhan, implementation na didahiton pag klase. Asya yan, importante. Okay. Next slide, please. Grade 3.
Late kasi ang kuan screen.
For grade 3, number of learning, puro lang yung music ha. Number of learning competencies is 4. Number of school days is 7. Total number of days is 7. So, ano na lang, I am not going to rate the learning competencies anymore in each week. Okay, for grade 4, we have 5 competencies. Grade 6. Number of competencies is 4. And the same with other grades. And distribution is also the same. Aprehas ang iya distribution. So, you will notice that learning competencies have decreased. Diri na kita magpapasubra kay we will follow strictly what are inside the milk. Grade 7. Okay, number of competencies, 7. Total number of days, 7. Okay. Week 1 up to week 6. Next, for grade 8, total number of competencies, 6. And total number of days, 8. Grade 9. Number of competencies is 6 and total number of days 6. For grade 10, total number of days is 6 with number of competencies which is 5. Okay. So next component is the arts. So dito na mag-i-start ang arts sa August 26. So dapat paprehas sa naton implementation, ano? Kung music ang naton pag-start on Monday, first day of the week, dapat paprehas. So next day, pagka 24 is Monday, 25, 26, 25 is Tuesday, so ini Wednesday ini. So this is all about arts. Week 2 will start from September 1 to week 3 to 5 will start from September 8, 15, 23, and week 6 will be on September 29. Chris.
Ma'am, may ano nagpitlit.
Yan ay Asya magpe-presenta na. Okay, arts na kita for grade 1. The number of competencies for grade 1 is 4 for quarter 1 from week 1 to week 6 with a total number of days of 7. Okay, grade 2. Grade 2, again, arts will start on August 26 and end on September 23 for the first quarter only ito, ha? From week 1 to week 5 with a total number of competencies of 6 and a total number of days of 7. So here are the learning competencies listed on the screen. So kamo nalapag, picture niyo. And next for grade 4,
Waray man, ma'am.
Grade 4, total learning competencies is 6 and total number of days is 7. Again, we'll start on August 26 and end on September 29. Bagay ba di September 29 from week 1 to week 6. The next grade 5. Arts for grade 5. Total number of competencies is 8 from week 1 to week 6 from August 25. August 25, 26, and to September 23. Next, grade 6. Grade 6 has a total number of competencies of 11. Idaruda muna ang grade 6. This is elements and principles. For grade 7, how many learning? Okay, 10 learning competencies from week 1 to week 6. Grade 8. Grade 8, we have 10 learning competencies from August 25 to 29, week 1 to week 6. Then, grade 9. Grade 9. Grade. Okay. 12 learning competencies for arts sa grade 9. So, manonotice natin na nagiging complicated na nila mga learning competencies. Okay, next, grade 10. Grade 10, how many learning competencies? We have 12 learning competencies for grade 10 from week 1 to week 6. Okay, next. Okay. Next component is physical education. So, as I have observed from right to central, and physical education is only performed in one day. Diba? Usala ka, adlaw ito hiya. So, it's either on Thursday or Friday or basta hiya ito. Friday hiya, in paper form. Masya nagpaka-jogging pants yung kabataan. So, we only have 4 competencies. Siyempre kay one day lahiya, magutunan niya competencies. But then, these competencies comes from a wide scope of competencies from our previous curriculum guide. Okay, so week 1 to week 8 naan, physical education. Or quarter 1. Next, grade 2. Same with grade 1. Number of competencies is 4. And this is from week 1 to week 3. Next, grade 3. Number of learning competencies is 4 from week 1 to week 2. Nag 2 weeks na lang ka ng grade 3. Okay. For grade 4, Number of competencies is 5. Week 1, week 2, week 3 ni. Week 1, this competency is already embedded in other, kaya pala. Week 1, and then other competencies, September to September 9, these competencies were already embedded in other learning competencies. Week 3 and 8, September 16 and September 24, usa na laan ira learning competencies, and week 3 and 8 executes the different skills involved in the game. It's because other competencies also are embedded in other learning competencies. Another one is September 24. So other competencies for September 24 are also embedded in other learning competencies. Kaya usa na lang ang learning competencies week. Displays joy of effort to speak for others and fair play during participation in physical activities. This competency is already embedded in other learning competencies. So our learning competency for physical education in grade 4, 5, from grade 1, malat ang siya kay it is already embedded in other learning competencies, makalita week 3 and 8. Then, other embedded also in other learning competencies. Bali, week 1, week 3, and week 8 lang na physical education. Hakwara 01. Okay, next. Grade 6, number of competencies is 4, number of days is 4, and this will be executed or performed by the learners from week 2 and 8. Okay, next grade 7. Grade 7. Okay, for grade 7, we have week 1, week 2, 3, 4 to 8. With only 6 competencies because other competencies were already embedded in other. Kapag nasakop na nila at other competencies. So we have 6 competencies for grade 7 physical education for quarter 1. So please notice that there is no food on this side here. May note si Ma'am Nancy at the last part of this presentation. Take note of the part here and waray hiya food. What does it mean? We will find it out after the last part of the presentation. Okay, next, grade 8. Grade 8 is next. Okay, number of competencies for grade 8, quarter 1, CE. We have 6 from week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 8. Okay, next. Para iduat niya ko. Okay, next, grade 9. Week 1. So, talaga kang mention your week because other competencies for this grade level in physical education were embedded in other learning competencies. So, balik tulo na lang ang competencies ng grade 9 for physical education on quarter 1. Okay. Next, grade 10, we have week 1 to 7. We have a total number of competencies, 3, total number of days is 4 for physical education in grade 10, quarter 1.
The next, health. The fourth component for mapping is health. So for grade 1, for week 1 to week 10, we only have week 1, week 3 and 4, week 5 and 10, we only have 3 learning competencies. Mawati ko may malini din ni. Na week 1 and 2, we only have 4 number of days. Kaya ano na may kasi sa week 1 and 2, week 3, 4, week 5, 10. When we only have 4 number of days. Yan na lang kita. And mag-yan. I am confused with this one. Week 1 and 2, it's week 1 and 2 has only one competency to same. Week 3 and 4 only one competency. Week 5 and 10 kaya we have 3 competencies and number of people. Okay, next grade 2. Grade 2. Grade 2, number of competencies is 4 and number of weeks is not indicated here. Maybe this is only 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days. Same with grade 1. 4 days, grade 2 for component of market health or quarter 1. Grade 3. Grade 3. Okay, so for grade 3, under the component of health and MAPI, we have 8 competencies and 8 number of days. Okay. Next, grade 4. Grade 4. We have 5 competencies for grade 4. Week 1 and 3 has the same competency. Week 4 and 6 has only one competency. Week 7 and 8, same competency. Week 9 and 10, same competency. So, this will be tackled for how many days? So, it's dedicated word. Grade 5. Grade 5, total number of competencies 8 from week 1 to week 8. Week 6 and 7 has only one competency and week 1 and 2 has only one competency. Grade 6, week 1 and 4 has only one has the same competencies. Describe personal health issues and concerns and conflict management skills. Week 5 and 6 has the same competencies. Present more than some undergoing health assessment regularly undergoes health assessment. Week 7 and 10 has the same competencies, identifies community health resources and facilities that may be utilized to address a variety of personal health issues and concerns. All in all, grade 6 for quarter 1 has 5 learning competencies and total number of days. Okay, for grade 7, the remaining days for quarter 1 will be for health. Okay, for grade 7, we have week 1, explains the dimensions of holistic health, physical, mental, and intellectual, emotional, social, and moral spiritual. Analyze the effects. So we have 2 competencies for week 1. Week 2, we have 1 competency. Week 3 and 4, we have the same competencies. Recognizing changes to different aspects of growth that normally happen during adolescent years. Week 5 and 7 is the same competencies. Recognizes that changes in different dimensions are normal during adolescence. Week 8 and 10 has the same competencies. And the total number of competencies for quarter 1, grade 7, health component is MAPI, 8. Okay, next, grade 8. For grade 3, week 1, we have 2 competencies. Status terms, qualities, and important component of one's personality. explains dimensions of human sexuality. For week 2, we have one competency, analysis the factors that affect one's attitude and practices related to sexuality and sexual behavior. For week 3 and 4, we have the same competencies, assesses personal health attitudes that may influence sexual behavior, relates the importance of sexuality to family health. For week 5 and 7, we have the same competency, identifies the different issues, concerns of the teachers, and the need of for support and understanding of the family. For week 8, we have one competency applies to different issues, skills in managing sexuality related issues. So for grade 8, in the health component for quarter 1, we have 7 number of learning competencies. For grade 9, we have week 1, science, theory, and environmental health. Week 2 and 4, the same competency. 1, 2, 3. Week 5 and 6, the same competency. Suggest ways to prevent and manage environmental health issues. Week 7 and 8, the same competency. So all in all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 competencies for quarter 1 health component and mapping for grade 9. Okay, waray dili nakabutang, but naihapan nato. Okay, for grade 10, we have 10 competencies. 2 competencies for week 1 and 2. Week 3, 2 competencies. Week 4, we have 1 competency. Week 5 and 6, 10 competencies. 2 competencies for 5 and 6, which are the same. Week 7 and 8, same competencies. All in all, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 learning competencies. For quarter 1, health, grade 2. Okay, next. Okay, for senior high school, weeks 1 to 7 is the same competencies. Week 8 to 10 is the same competencies. Week 1 to 10 is the same competencies. So week 1 and 10 is the same competencies. Week 1 and 10 is also there are several competencies related for week 1 and 10. Week 1 to 10. They are related from week 1 to almost related from week 1 to 10. So grade senior high school grade, particularly grade 11, has 9 learning competencies in physical education and health for quarter 1 or first semester. Next. Quiz. For grade 12, week 1 and 10, from week 1 and 10, there are also several learning competencies which are related to each other. Kaya din, uusan na lahiya learning competencies. Semester. So the remaining number of days and physical education and health for grade 12. Okay, Chris, next slide. Okay, ito na akong susaring kanina. You will observe from the presentation that some of the competencies has no food indicate side of the wall. Didihan, atong higidan presentation. So, according to Ma'am Nancy, note that quarter 1 participation for UP and Arts, grade 1 to 10, is done for you as sample in preparing your BOL for the succeeding quarter. So, what does it mean? Para gintagan lang kita yung sample for quarter 1 and budget of results. Please enter the key to 12 food on the column intended for BE, grade 4 to 10, and health education from grade 1 to 10, senior high school, grade 11 and 12 for first semester, PE and health. Food can be found in the milk from the Google Drive sent to PSPS group chat. So we will ask this code which are not present during the presentation a while ago from Loro Kamakita. For lacking columns for this, okay, kanina share din ako ng pansin. For lacking columns for this, a number of days, teachers are requested to do the budgeting following the sample provided to you. So, kung nakag-take note ka mo ang presentation kanina during the several slides presented, you will notice that there are slides with no indication with regards to number of days. Pati nga ni Ann, number of learning competencies. So, anong siring didi? Ni Ma'am Nancy, for lacking columns for this, the number of days, teachers are requested to do the budgeting following the sample provided to you. Okay? So, this is all about the milk on mapping. Again, the moment we stop accepting challenges is the moment we stop moving forward. Although all these things are not yet cleared as water to us, let us accept the challenge because it is only in accepting the challenge that we can move forward. Thank you for your patience, for sustaining your time, and listening and abrupt report. Thank you so much and good afternoon. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome po, Ma'am Virgie, and thank you very much for your very comprehensive explanation on MAPE milk. Milk. Okay, so, Sir Noel? Sir Noel?
Ma'am Mary Chris, may nasasuggest kasi, iba ka sa dalat ligid kalsada, may luklo, may signal. Kaya maro na ba ito ni SP, ma'am? Kung pwede, buhat yung aga. Wala kasi na may ligid kalsada, diba?
Ano kay itin ko ano yung tita?
Next pino ta kan, ma'am.
Nag-reply yes, sir? Siring niya, para ko no buwas, siring niya, para ko no buwas ko no, ITCRNF, tapos administrative concerns, and LRMDS na lang ko no buwas. Pero kung halaman, ESP,
Ha? Okay, please. Sige, sige, ma'am, sige. Panala, huwag ko nagadlaan, no.
oo sir, kay para mo man la ito.
Oo, para ito mga milk pala, sige. Sige, di na lang, ma'am, Chris, sige. Sige, go.
Para ka naman milk, Noel.
Sige. Sige, go. Okay.
Kay Noel, kaya dakuan. Assistant principal.
Oo, ang principal pagod. Sige. Sige, ma'am Chris, go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us all listen to the presentation of Sir Noel Ibias on ESP milk. Wala, nawala ang ang sound. Naghang man. Hello?
Na-disconnect sa sir. Okay. Okay, Ma'am Chris, okay na? Hello, Ma'am Chris. Ma'am Virgie. Okay na, Ma'am Virgie, Ma'am Chris? Okay na?
Yes, Sir Noel.
Okay, so magandang hapon mga participants kayo. Hindi pa pagod yung katawang lupa ng ating mga teachers. Anyway, sandali lang naman ito. Pare-pareho naman yung ating discussion tungkol sa MEL. Okay, so sa ISP, gagabayan natin ating mga guro sa paggamit ng MEL sa asignaturang ISP. Okay, so ang layunin nito, una para hanap mga bata magpili ng MEL, tamang paggamit ng MEL. So again, ang context ng MEL upang matugunan ang ating mga pangailangan sa pagtuturo, pagkatuto sa panahon ng krisis or pandemya. So ano nga ba ang MEL? Ito ay lubang mahalagang kaalaman, pag-unawa sa pagpapalaga na dapat natutuhan na mag-aral sa panahon ng krisis or kalamidad upang maging produktibo ang kanilang produktibo at panagmamayan ayon sa Republic Act 2023 Section 7 Policy. So, ito yung mga layunin. So, dapat, ang asignaturang ISP, ito ng mag-aaral, una, yung kaalaman, pag-unawa, kasanayan at pagpapalaga ayon sa sitwasyon, at ito ng pagpaundan ng mga mag-aaral sa panakris or kalamidad. So, ito naman sa pagpili. So, ito na yung mga paraan ng pagpili ng MEL. Una, inuuri kung ano talaga ang pinaka-essential or desirable na learning competency. Pagkatapos, uriin, nagkakaroon ng deliberasyon tungkol sa mga piniling essential na learning competency. After ng deliberasyon, dito magpapasya na ito na yung gagamitin or criteria sa asignaturang ESP. So, tandaan, ang ESP sa grade 1 to 6, binawasan ang bilang ng learning competency. Samantala ang grade 7 to 10, ang pinawasan lamang ay yung okay. Again, paunawa, ulitin ko, binawasan lamang ang bilang ng mga learning competency sa baitang 1 to 6 at ang bilang ng mga paksa sa junior high school. Ngunit hindi ang essential na mga paksa o learning competency. So, ito yung mga batayan sa pagpili ng MEL. Una, may criteria sa pagpili ng MEL. Pangalawa, developmental task ni Robert Habiger, mga pamantayan sa pagkatuto at ang struktura ng curriculum. So sa number 1 na criteria sa pagpili ng MEL, ito yung readiness, level of learning, ito yung taglay na sunod na antas ng pagkatuto. So dapat may pagkasunod-sunod yung mga topic o sa antas ng pagkatuto. So, andito yung endurance, yung leverage o maksimum pakinabang. So, mga pagkatuto yung learning gap. So, una, yung general o pangkalpamantayan, pagganap. Ang pang-apat, yung struktura ng curriculum. So, sa junior high school, may apat na dapat matutunan o yung pagkatuto o learning for sa bawat batay sa 6 na kasanayan sa cognitive process dimension ng DepEd Order number 8. Series of 2016 yung K-12. So ito na yung mga katangin o mga tayan sa essential understanding yung mga EDOC. So dito sa endurance, yung pangmatagal o panghabang buhay, so kinakailangan yung mag-aaral ang learning competency. Kahit tapos na siyang mag-aral, ito ay ma-transfer niya into concrete situation sa kanyang buhay o ano ang profesyon. Okay, so sa discipline-based naman, so dito ay nakaangkla o nakakabit yung ang batayang konsepto sa dalawang disiplina, yung etika at ang career guidance. So, yung mga expert system o knowledge na pinahayag dito ay kailangan matibay na batay mula sa malalim o pag-aaral o pagsasaliksik. So, ang pangatlo nilang naging batayan, may mga nakapaloob na mga konsepto, may malaking mensahe na batay konsepto, maring mahimay sa maliit na konsepto. So, baga, ikang ito general, nagtunga specific. Then, potentially engaging. So, mapupukan itong interest at ito kay kilahok ng mga dito sa potential engaging, tulubang malaga ang mensahe ng batayang konsepto sa buhay ng mag-aaral. Kaya, napupukaw nito ang kanyang interest at vision sa at pakikilahok. So, paano nga ba gagamitin ang MELC ng ESP? So, una, pag-aaral ang bawat MELC ayon sa pamantayan, pagninalaman at pamantayan sa pagganap ng bawat quarter o paksa. So, number 2, dapat isaalang-alang bawat MELC ang pinakamagang mensahe na dapat tandaan na mag-aaral. Hindi lamang igawan o pagpalag sa kasa dito. So, ito ang batayang konsepto. So, number 3, dapat bigyan presya ng pagtuturo at pagpili ng learning resources ang paglingat ng susunod na ikatlong learning code ng paksa at ang mga ebidensyang pagtaunawa nito o yung mga performance tasks na taikapat na learning competency. So, pang-apat, gamitin ang mga module o learning resources na nabanggit sa teacher tutorials ayon sa tatlong hakbang sa itaas. So, ito yung tagubilin. So, nagsisilbing minimum essentials lamang ang MELC sa panahon ng pandemya. So, kaya sinabi naman na yung MELC ay ngayon lang ito gagamitin natin sa panuruan na ito. So, hindi dapat sakripisyo ang kalidad o lawa o lalim ng mga dapat tutuhan ng mag-aral sa panahon natin ito. So, kahit naka-pandemya tayo, narasa natin ang krisis, so dapat hindi natin sakripisyo yung quality na education. Dapat makamta ng bawat mag-aaral. So ito na yung mga deliberasyon sa enhance o yung binagong learning competency. Ito ay meron mo pang pagutin sa kakalahad. So meron naman, so ito na yung mga pinagsama ang pag-deliberasyon, pagsama ng mga learning competency na enhance o yung binagong learning competency. Nag-emerge yung naman ay gil-delete or gil-drop sa mga competencies mula sa learning, mula sa curriculum guide na meron ito ay ito na yung mga dito na so ito yung paghahambing ng mga beta ng MELC sa learning competency. Meron ito na ito babasahin kasi meron na magkakay-copy ng mula sa MELC, mula sa curriculum guide pagkaroon ko sa MELC sa bawat so mag-ano lang ako ng so kukuha na ako ng isa tapos next naman ako ng grade. So dito sa bila sa baitang sa grade 1 sa mga binago pinagsama at mga didraft at yung mga so sa grade 1 so mayroon ito sa ating 21 wala itong binago, walang pinagsama. Meron itong itinyansabi or dinitanggal. So, at pagkagamit ay labing ito kasi lima ang tinanggal. 2, 3, 4, 5. Kaya sa tinanggal 5, so ang milk na gagawin ay 17. Okay lang? Okay lang po. Pala yung namin ko. Okay lang. Okay, so dito pa tayo sa unang balsa. So, ganun din i-discuss ko.
Sas
Ka na lang. Example,
sa Saramok naman.
Okay lang? Okay, so sa unang balsa, sa elementary, sa samantalang pagkatuto, meron tayo itong sa pamilya. Ito yung sa unang markahan. So, dito, yung desisyon ay pinanatili mula sa TG, yung dahilan, tumutugon ko sa mga kanya ng endurance. So, sa learning competency sa milk naman, so ito na, nakikilala ang sariling gusto, interpretation, pinalat, at damdam. So, meaning, dahil pariya mula sa TG, ito ay pinanatili ay na ginamit sa milk, yung galing sa TG. So, din sa quarter, at sa unang quarter ito, tapos sa quarter 2 ng grade 1, ganon din. Sa number 8, pinanatili. Tapos, yung dahilan kung bakit pinatili, ito tumutugon sa mga kriteria ng endurance. So, parehas nakapagpapakita ng pagmamahal at paggalang sa mga magulang. Okay, so, okay. Ito ko grade. Okay, so sa grade 3, ganun din. Sa grade 3, so mag-ano lang sa isang sample. Dito sakta ng pagkatuto sa learning ng ESP, mula sa curriculum guide, yung tungkulin ko sa ang sarili sa pamilya sa first quarter. So, yung competency doon, nakatutukoy ng natatanging kakayahan. Tapos, sa kanilang desisyon, pinagkasunduan na panatilihin yung competency doon sa curriculum guide at gamitin dito na sa MEL. Dahil tumutugon ito sa mga kriteria naman na endurance. So, grade 3 yun. So, grade 4. Sa grade 4, so ay ganun din, yung mga sample, halos pari-parihas, pinanatili dahil tumutugon sa kita ng endurance. So, walang binago. So, sa grade 5, sa first quarter, yung pakay panagotang sarili at mabuting kasapi ng pamilya. So, ang naging desisyon ay pinanatili yung CG na gamitin dito sa MEL. So, dito sa grade 5, so sa learning competency sa CG, nakapaghihinuha, nakapagdudulot ng kabutihan sa pagkasama ng maluwag, ang pagsasabi ng kapag. So, ang naging desisyon, ito ay isang tabi or din draft dahil Ito ay maaring malinang sa pamagitan ng iba pang kasanayan pang katuto. Okay. Kore na iya is api. So, punta naman tayo sa grade 6. So, sa first quarter, panagutang pansarili at mabuting kasapi ng pamilya. So, dito, tapat sa itasagawa ay layunin na ito. Itasagawa ang mga tamang hakbang na makatutulong sa pagbuo ng desisyon ng mga kabut sa pamilya. So, ang naging desisyon, ito ay binago dahil mahalagang kasanayan at kailangan ng mas mahabang oras ng pagtuturo. Kaya, ito ay binago pagdating sa MEL. So, nagiging nakapag-susuri ng mabuti sa mga bagay na may kinalaman sa sarili at pangyayari. Diyan sa 1.1. Sa 1.2, nagiging nakasasang-ayon sa pasya ng nakararami kung nakakabuti ito. So, sa number 3 na gamit informasyon, wasto o tamang informasyon. So, binago nila pagdating sa MEL. Okay. Dumako tayo sa grade 7. So, sa grade 7, quarter 1, pagkilala sa pamamahala sa pagbabago sa sarili. So dito, yung naging desisyon ay retain dahil bakit sa development sa body work, mahalaga ang kamalayan sa sarili sa paglinang pagpapagpapag. So ito na yung pagbago, ito na yung kwalidad sa tunay ng pagpapaglahat sa pagpapaglahat. So, sa grade 9, sa first quarter, so dito, Kaya, ang gumagawa, okay. So, bilang nagdadalaga sa grade A, ang pamilya bilang isa ng pagkakwa, balikan sampo ang moral niya pagkatao. So, ayon ating ating guide so, mga batayan, ganun din ang naging picture ang naging marami ng pasya. So, kaya nasilin sa kanilahanan na ito ay pangmatagalan. So, kailangan na magamit sa pamilya. So, dito sa by consent, answer. So, sa quarter 3, katubagkahan, yung kanyang content standard na ipamamalas ng mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa gawain kaliwas sa batas ng Diyos buhay. So, ang kanyang performance standard, kasi nandito ang parang budget of lesson. Ito na yung budget of lesson. Tayo dito. Okay, ito na yung budget of lesson kung ilang weeks yung battle the standard sa performance standard. So, ito na yung mga code. So, learning competency 10 at 13. So, yung paksa 10, paggalang sa buhay, na ipamamalas ng mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa paggalang sa buhay. Paksa 13, ang kaindigan ng tao sa pagmamahal niya sa buhay bilang sa loob ng Diyos. So, pinagsama yung 10 at 13, yung isa na lang sa kaindigan ng tamang paggamitan sa pangyarihan at paggalang sa paligiran. Inimerge na lang. So, ang coding standard dito, ito na, sa paksa, dito pa lang sa buhay. So, ipamala sa mga paggalang sa buhay. Performance standard, nakagagawa ang mag-aaral ng angkop na sinuto pang ipamala ang paggalang sa buhay. For example, dapat na-ituwid ang photo audit na nira sa lipunan. So, gano'n din sa paksa 13, 10 at 13, pagpagaw ng content standard at performance standard. Okay, so, sa estimate ng 10, yung mga pinagsama, sa learning competency 10 at ang learning competency 13. So, ito na. So, kung ating titingnan sa paggalang sa buhay at ang panindigan ng tao sa pagmamahal niya sa buhay bilang kaloob ng Diyos. So, dahil ito pinagsama, so ito mag-review ang panindigan ng tao sa pagmamahal niya sa buhay bilang kaloob ng Diyos. Okay. So, ito na yung mga paksa na mga pinagsama na mayroong mga code. So, ganun din sa baitang 10, ang apat sa markangan, meron doon mga learning competition na pinagsama yung 12, yung paksa na 12, 14, at ayun din yung duration kung ilang week, tatalakay yung paksa at yung ito 12 KG code na kung saan nila kinuha yung paksa. So, ganon din, pinagsama. Okay lang. Isa-isahin yung mga pinagsama o magpapalak ng sample, ganita. Ha? Okay lang? Nang may nakatawo. Ay, dapat mag-one, sir.
Sir Noel.
Oo. May daan. Ha? Awa na pa?
May dapa, may dapa. Iti, wadala, buti nala.
Oo. Ito na yung mga paksa na pinag. Ito na yung mga paksa. Ito na yung mga seryoso na, mga seryoso. Oo. Oo. So, ito na yung mga paksa na pinagsama. Kanina naman yung gin-retain, ngayon naman yung pinag-merge. Nakwala ko ng sample tag-usa, okay lang. Hindi
Oo.
na parehas naman. Ano lang respan? No? Ano? Okay, sabi ko, yung kanina, yun ang mga written na mga, yun ang mga written na mga paksa na meron lang ako specific na sample na binabasa. Ngayon naman, ito na yung mga merge. Ito na yung mga pinagsama na mga paksa. Tapos kukuha ko ng isa na aking babasahin. Okay lang? Anyway, pare-parehas naman. Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you. So kanina, retain, ngayon merge. Okay, so ito na. Ito yung bilang na mga sa baitang 10 na kung saan ang mga ni-retain at mga din-merge. So mayroon tayo total na 64 na learning competency sa curriculum guide. 64. So sa MEP naman, ito ang mayroong 56 na competencies na. So, in other words, yung pinanapili galing sa curriculum guide ay 56 na lang. So, yung ibang paksa ay pinagsama or rephrase. Yung iba naman ay yung pinagsama and rephrase ay paksa 10, tapos paksa 13, paksa 12, yung pinagsama. Okay, so ito na yung hamon sa ating mga teachers or sa ating lahat. Ang hamon sa mga kalawak na orientasyon sa mga MELC, particularly sa edukasyon sa pagpapasa sa tao. So sana tayo ngayon. So una, pag-unawa sa ISP bilang asignatura. Pangalawa, mga kasanayan sa pagpapadaloy ng pagsasanay. Pangatlo, pag-unawa kung paano suportahan ang mga guro sa pagtuturo ng ISP batay sa mga storya at dulog nito na tapat sa expert system of knowledge ng etika at career guidance. So, ano yung mga paghahanda na dapat nating gawin? So, dapat tayo bilang mga kalahok ay mayroon tayong commitment. Iangat natin ang pagtuturo ng ISP sa panahon ng pandemya. Kaya natiring with ibaagi, kay balis man la ito. Pag kinuan na sa NPD ito. So dapat, meron tayong commitment, angat ang pagtuturo ng ISP. Lalo ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya. So dapat ginagabayan ang mga guro sa mapanagutang paggamit ng MELC na pagtuturo ng pagkatuto. Okay. Alam niyo dito. Okay, so bago ako magtapos, Tapos na. Bago magtapos, sabi ni John Henry Newman, nilikha ako ng Diyos upang gumawa isang takdang serbisyo. Pinili niya ako, hindi ang iba, para sa gawaing ito. Dahil akong misyon, mandugtong ako sa isang kadina, ugnayan sa magitan ng mga tao. Hindi niya ako para sa wala. Gagawin ko ang mabuti. Gagawin kong gawin. Tinakdan niya para sa akin. Kaya magtiwala ako sa Kanya. So, bilang anak ng Diyos, bilang mga guro, responsibilidad natin na tuparin ang ating mission sa gawang ito upang magkaroon ng magandang resulta sa pagtuturo ng ESP. So, yan lamang po at magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Wow. Thank you very much, Sir Noel.
Sir Noel, ang galing mong kumain ng salitang may ugat.
Thank you. Pag sa tutunang nadiri, ako kanyari ko sa bata.
Ang galing kumain ng salitang ugat.
Thank you. Pagkatulang.
We would like also to acknowledge the presence of our ALS teachers, mobile teachers, and coordinators for today's conference.
Okay, so thank you. See you tomorrow.
Sige.
Okay, so, thank you, Sir Noel. Okay, siring ni Ma'am Tita, last na ko no adto. Nga topic. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Siring ni Ma'am Tita, last na ko no adto ni Sir Noel.
Okay.
So, tomorrow is day 2. Okay, ang mga topic, Sir Wilfredo, adi ka pa, sir?
Yes.
Sir Wilfredo, ikaw po hindi mag-roll call buwas. Dito program. Roll call of participant.
Ma'am, sana may alala ko pag-isuri niya gamit. Dili pa ako maaari mag-tiro kita attendance.
Wow.
Alam pala ko, ma'am.
Inuman mo sa pixel. Yan na.
Dito ako kunla. Dito ako grade. Any elementary student. Lubig ako. Kuya ba natin?
Sir Federico na lang kayo. Ano, Sir Federico?
Ano po, ano?
Sir Federico, ikaw bukas saan mag-attendance check.
Sige.
Tapos, araling panlipunan, orientation proper, araling panlipunan, Tita, ALS and multi-grade, Sir Gigi, LRMDS, Ma'am Virgie. Tapos may dapakuno, IPCRF, and then administrative matters by Ma'am Cristita. I-post ko na lang ang program. Kaya ako pa ini-ask ka Ma'am Tita kung okay na ini.
Sige.
So, anay, masalit anay ako nga, kung pwede na kita magkuad.
Adjo.
Mag-send off. Ma'am, tapos na.
Mag-adjourn na.
Mag-istorya laan ay kako.
Sir Fred, sige naman pamukpok. Ditanay kami tintupan. Bangin ko yan tintupan.
Dadali daw.
May pakita ka dalay kami. Ay nagpak sila ko. Kapag amigo kami. Yung balkon.
Dadali daw.
Kamali pa yun at yung mga tawa. Ayos din ka idol. Parang nagyapo panulpok. Pero kunti lang. Ano mga lamit sa bangin may na din ang mga kintasalita guys? Pare pa, ay in-paparatize ko yun eh. Just makatupok mo lang.
Asaw dong, buhay kayo na namumula.
Asya yung new normal na yan. Hindi na.
Pinasabot mo ba tagirong ka na pinapasuan hala? Kabatot. Na-attend din kayo kuan si webinar, nakahubo. Brief na lang
Hindi,
sir.
Papasok.
Brief na lang sir.
Umututuran.
Wala ka.
Nag-i-skip ka na ako kay John, nag-retira palay. Nag-retira palay.
Pero timbalik kay mga damo. Naman kay mga tawa.
Dari ma'am, nag-retira palay. Nag-i-skip ako kay nanunuro.
Wala ka, damo na siya balay.
Nanay pa.
Sabi na sa sila.
Ay. Ano ka maganda, ma'am? After kung magayakan sa tira, napunta kasi Sir Noel.
Oh, yan ito di pinamukpok.
Sige, po.
Hindi mo kurungan.
Sesakot ko ma'am, sesakot ko.
Ayun na.
Ano daw lang?
Ano din yung mo?
Okay, sir.
Sabihin mo. Sabihin mo na.
Hindi mo nahiya. Kurungan.
Ma'am Virgie, excuse me.
Hello? Hello?
Ma'am Virgie,
Yes.
Ma'am Tita, you will be the one to close today's session.
Sige, close. Bagot. Asal pa mo. Ay, ano man ano? Di close. Di patay. Balitan ba na eh?
Wala.
Nagkarisyuhan na.
Tungod na ito cancel, Wilfredo. Nagkansuhan kita.
Nag-retira kasi palay dito rin. Nanunuro kasi nag-i-skip na ako.
Yes, sir. Naglilipay kami nga. Ada ka, sir.
Ma'am?
Nalilipay po ito na katanan kami nga. Ada ka.
Correct.
Congratulations, Sir Wilfredo.
Buhay nga yun ini sa Wilfredo.
Okay. Nag-alat ko na kini ma'am. On the very first time ako nagparo kini. Nagparo.
Pan-virtual nga yung drama, sir.
Correct.
Hindi nga yun, sir, karagit face-to-face. Gusto talaga niya virtual.
Oo.
Sir.
Dali yan eh, sir. Bukrog ligo.
I never
Ay, sir, buwas ha? Huwag pa kita buwas.
nagparong ako yun. Waray.
Ma'am Virgie, pag-close na.
Ay, wala ko tawag.
Alay, mag-virtual. Okay na. Maka-closing time.
Ano, mga monster.
Ito ay ang tagok-tok.
Yan. Not yet. Not yet. Waray pa mag-close. What time? Kami pala, hindi pa rin kami ano. Ma'am Marianne, dari pa. Yes. Oh, dari pa, ma'am. Sorry. Pinag-off man, napaganawara. Open ka na. Okay, ma'am. Sige. Sorry for the Yeah, it's okay. We are about to close.
Sige. Good afternoon once again, fellow students, and of course, to our distinguished stars, fans, including the ALS, coordinator, and mobile teachers. Good afternoon. So, as we close our first
to the virtual conference on memorization, I would like to say on behalf of say thank you for your patience and listening all the questions for the health orientation. So we are hoping that we will also see each other through virtual tomorrow at we continue the second day of this conference. So to all of us, maupay niya po kayo nga tanan and keep safe everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Stay safe. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Ate.
Ingat lahat. Ingat kayo kay Sir Fred.
Yan, no. Tapos ko, ha? Ano
Nag-close na.